What is the best loophole that you've ever found? I didn't find this loophole, but my friend did. A few years back, an online store had this promotion where whoever spent the most money over a month would get free round-trip airplane tickets to anywhere in the world. My friend, who's a genius, found that one thing you could buy on the site was a gift certificate. So he bought a $25 gift certificate and kept spending it on another $25 gift certificate. So he ended up spending $25 on round-trip tickets to Australia. My university was trying to encourage people to walk, so if we download a specific health tracker that's connected to our account, it would convert steps into points. The points would get you stuff like free coffee, mugs, discounts for stuff, and the most expensive prize, a university hoodie which costs about £30. Now, the health tracking app is pretty basic. It won't let you log your steps manually, however it does let you connect with other health apps. I found a health app that would let me add in the steps, and I logged in an equivalent of 50 kilometers a day, and in a few days of logging manually, I would get myself a hoodie or two, and I didn't get caught. However, I told my friend about it, and he really perfected the method of getting more steps a day, because apparently there was a hidden physical limit to how far a person can walk in a day, but he managed to trick it by setting his height to be 1 centimeter, and because the shorter you are, the more steps you need to take to cover the same distance. In the end he claimed about 10 plus hoodies, and he would just get them for anyone who asks. The uni found it suspicious, so he received an email telling that the activity had to stop unless he could provide evidence that he walked that much. Another friend had a different method. You get points just by being friends with them on the university health website. He also found that he could access a list of everyone who had an account in that website. So he made a Python script that would automatically send a request to everyone, earning him points. Laughing so hard about the 1 centimeter marathonist giving away uni hoodies. Not all heroes wear XXXXXXXXXXS uni hoodies. I used to work at Papa John's to pay my way through college. There was a contest we had where if you got someone to upsize their pizza from like a medium to a large for an extra $2, you got points towards movie tickets. A large was simply $2 extra normally anyways. Anyone that ordered a large, I simply put in a medium and upsized it. I won every week. My co-workers didn't notice this obvious loophole, and it didn't cost the customer extra, so I didn't have a problem with this morally gray area. Free movie tickets every week was a huge in college. We used to play server bingo at an old chain restaurant I worked for. It was mid-November and we had a brownie dessert that was on special. It was literally our regular brownie dessert, except instead of caramel drizzle there was raspberry drizzle and some crushed candy cane sprinkles. The rest was the same to brownies, ice cream, whip. The last square of server bingo that nobody could get was to sell 20 of these desserts. They were also the same price as the regular brownie. We were also responsible for decorating our own desserts. The kitchen would put up the brownies and the ice cream. So I would just bring in a Christmas brownie and do it up as a normal one. If the customer didn't actually want the Christmas one server bingo and won a brand new Xbox 360 Slim. This was about 8 years ago. It was a wicked prize. Back in 2013. Papa John's had a promo for the Super Bowl where if you called the coin toss correctly, you would get a voucher for a free 1-topping pizza. However, the only control in place was you could only enter the contest one time per email address. I created more than 60 emails, half of them calling heads, half tails, 8 free for 6 weeks. Yep, I've done similar with various promotions. I own a bunch of domains for work, so I can just create as many emails as I want instantly, which show up as valid business addresses as well. Then when I'm done I just delete them, so I really don't care if they get sold to spam companies or whatever. My high school had a stupid rule that banned you from attending prom if you went to a Saturday detention that semester. I got in trouble and was assigned to Saturday hall, but my girlfriend really wanted to go to prom. I just kept skipping it and they kept adding more until they rolled it into a day of actual suspension. They had no rule barring you from prom for an out of school suspension, so I got a day off and took my girl to prom. What an odd rule to have. Arbitrary nonsense rules are what high school is all about. My brother got free parking for pretty much his entire time at university. It was that golden period when the paid parking kiosks were able to accept credit cards, but before they were actually connected. They'd read a card and check it against a locally stored list of band numbers, and once a month the meter maid would download the transactions, process them, and update the blacklist. My brother found that they'd accept those prepaid gift cards if they were backed by Visa or MasterCard, but couldn't check the available balance, so he'd buy one, use the balance up on whatever, then use the card for parking until the end of the month when it'd get processed, found to not have funds, and banned. Rinse and repeat. Guy saved probably $2,500 over his degree. At a rural university I attended, paid parking was actually more expensive than getting a parking ticket, so I would just park wherever and get a ticket and just pay the ticket. I am pretty sure by now they must have normalized the prices. I can't remember when it happened, but it was years ago. I think it was Nestea, or some other canned tea. But if you bought a case of tea then there was a coupon on the box for a free case, except it was on every case. So now you have case number 2 and another free case coupon. All the tea could be had. My brother once yelled last one to jump in the pool is gay, and then jumped into the pool. However, I figured out that if I did not jump in then technically he would be the last one in the pool, and he is still gay to this day. Boom. Roasted. When I was in high school I applied for a summer job with the county. As part of the unbiased application process, each applicant was asked to take an intelligence test. The test consisted of about 80 questions. Each question was 4 or 5 line drawings, and you had to put an X in the box next to the one that didn't belong. Pretty easy. I happened to notice, though, that the test paper was 2-part, which is 2 sheets of paper that are attached together back to back with a sheet of carbon paper in between. I could peel the sheets apart and look inside. The second sheet just had a bunch of boxes printed on it, and I could see from the first few questions that I'd answered that the X's I'd marked ended up in the printed boxes on the second sheet thanks to the carbon paper. So, I did all of the questions with obvious answers, and if I wasn't sure, I just peeled the paper apart, noted where the box was printed on the second sheet, and made sure I got it right. Of course, I got 100%. I figure that if you can cheat on an intelligence test, you're pretty smart. I'd like to think that you passed the real test. There was a drink machine in college that was $75 for a juice. If you put $1 in it gave you 5 quarters in change. I got a juice every day for months before they finally fixed it. There was a parking ticket machine at a casino near me that, if you put $50 notes in it would spit your note back out, pay for your parking and give you change. Only worked twice for me but it was the best machine to play in the whole facility. Michigan used to have a law that a minor could not plead guilty to a crime without a lawyer. I found this out by accident when I was 13 and used it 3 more times before I was an adult. What happens is that I as a minor would just plead guilty. They would then give me a sentencing date and let me leave. Then a week or so later I would get a letter stating that it is not legal for me to plead guilty without a lawyer and my case was dismissed, or thrown out because of it. I got out of 3 minor in possession tickets that way. I was working maintenance at McDonald's when they did a Best Buy Bucks promotion. Large sodas and large fries had a scratch off that was worth at least $1 at Best Buy. I would go through the trash daily, pulling out all the discarded scratch offs. I got a free computer that year for Christmas. I also had a poor cashier at Best Buy in tears. She had to manually scan each scratch off and verify the dollar amount. A lot of people at my high school made out like bandits from working at McDonald's during that promo because they were bandits. They stole stacks of the cups and all got fired, but at least they got their electronics for free that year. My roommate at the time bought a car with his Best Buy bucks. He sent in a ton of self-addressed stamped envelopes to get game pieces. Each game piece had at least $1 of BB money, but some had $3. There's a law in Vermont that doesn't require the sender to provide postage for the return envelope on an SASE, so he had all his game pieces mailed to a PO box in Vermont, thus saving 37 cents per entry. Then he had all the game pieces bulk shipped to his home, much cheaper than spending 37 cents per entry. Once he got his game pieces, he peeled all of them, collected his Best Buy bucks, and went around buying MP3 players from stores. Best Buy got wise to this pretty quickly and had a $200 spending limit per day, so he'd travel around the entire metro area hitting every single Best Buy and spending $200 at each one. Then he sold them on eBay as new in box for like $10.20 off the retail price. I think he made around $10,000. It was a lot of work, but it beats working, I guess. Using LimeWire to download LimeWire Pro when I was in high school. For a while McDonald's had a promo where, when you walked in, you could scan a QR code and possibly get free food. However, different locations and different cutouts had different codes. I took pics of as many unique codes I could find, put them all on a handy PDF, and scanned them all using an Android device and an iOS device before lunch. I got free extra value meals regularly. In fact, I still had a couple free ones left over when they stopped the promotion. The McDonald's by my high school was archaic and didn't have a QR reader set up, so they just read the coupons that came in and honored them. Me and a friend went to same McDonald's and got the same free medium quarter pounder meal for an entire semester my junior year. I think the employees knew we were copying the coupon at school, but if I worked at McDonald's I wouldn't stop kids doing that kind of stuff either. We then blew our daily saving on ditchweed every day. Good times. Our local Tesco accidentally had 2 offers for Terra's chocolate orange at once. So if you bought 4, or a multiple of 4, they gave you 50p. Tried not to abuse it since if they noticed they change it, but bought 4 chocolate oranges with other stuff through the self-checkout every day for almost 2 weeks before they corrected it. I planned to save them for Christmas presents, but Christmas was 4 months away, and you know how delicious Terra's chocolate oranges are. Took a survey course in college, which basically amounted to a course the school was planning to offer in the future, but giving the professor an opportunity to fine-tune the curriculum before officially offering it as a class. Easy enough course. Got my credit, went home happy. Next semester the course went live and was offered under a different course number, but the description was identical. Signed up, never attended a class, took the final and got my credit again. I'm not sure if they do this anymore, but many years ago, while an employee at Home Goods, the store had this promotion where employees could get these scratch-off cards that reduce the cost of an item by the 1st of May $20 each time they found a price sticker on the floor. Each card had 3 scratch-off areas, and the catch was that you could only scratch off 1. However, if you used a lamp, you could see which scratch-off area was the 1st of May 20, meaning that you could very easily rack up a $20 gift card for every sticker you found on the floor. The idea was that if employees collected these fallen stickers, regular, nefarious shoppers couldn't stick them on something of far greater value and check out at that price. There were no rules on how many an employee could have or combine, because most folks who worked at that store were middle-aged women who really couldn't give a shit, and most of the stuff Home Goods sells is garbage. But then there was me, a starving, broke college kid who got paid close to nothing, but who worked in the back room unloading trucks, and who also was occasionally tasked with stocking shelves. In short, I was the only person who seemed to give a shit about this promotion, and my bosses, who wanted to show their higher-ups that they were putting the corporate programs into effect, were happy to oblige each sticker I presented with a scratch-off ticket of my own. Now Home Goods, while normally a purveyor of fine garbage, also occasionally has very nice, very high-end housewares on the cheap. Comparatively, these items, like cookware, linens, comforters, etc., are more often than not, usually much more expensive than the rest of the store's stock, and take a while to sell. For me, the guy who unloaded the trucks, this meant that when I saw something absurdly nice, I could put it very high up into a loading bay, and just let it sit for a while, because the senior citizens I worked with would never go up to get it. At the end of a 4-month summer, I'd amassed about 1,100 in these little gift cards, and with them I bought a full set of all-clad copper core cookware. A new piece came in once a month, a queen-sized down comforter, duvet cover and sheets, pillows, nice flatware, plates and glasses, a dozen useful kitchen tools. To this day, 10 years later, I still have all the all-clad, which alone retail for $800, and some of the kitchen tools, all of it for free. Back in the day, 2 5-piece chicken nuggets at Burger King cost less than a single 8-piece chicken nuggets. Me and those 2 extra nuggets were laughing all the way to the piggy bank. Back in the 1960s, the school district in my hometown was broken up and absorbed into the surrounding districts. Fast forward to 2003, I'm applying to colleges, I discovered that there is a scholarship fund for people living in that old district's area. The district is gone, but the scholarship still exists. I applied and got the scholarship. I don't think there were any other applicants. A lot of scholarships never get awarded or only have 1 or 2 applicants. Always good to search out as many as possible. My high school gave out a bunch of scholarships when I was a senior. I was the only one that applied to the Young Democrats one and I got it. I was also the only one that applied to the Young Republicans and got that one too. They were all given out at a big assembly at the end of the year, and they read them off in alphabetical order. So, they said the recipient of the scholarship for the Young Democrats is, and my name. A light applause. I get up on stage and get the check. The recipient of the scholarship for the Young Republicans is, and me, again. I had to turn around and walk back across the stage and get that check, too. To a lot of good-natured laughter at what I had pulled. Italian restaurant my family loves had a candy claw machine we played every time we went, but the trick to learn was, if the claw closed all the way it thought that meant you didn't get anything, and would let you play till you did get something. This means we would go for individual items that would fit into the claw perfectly. 1 sucker, 1 Laffy Taffy, so it would close all the way, instead of trying to get a big lot all at once. That way it wouldn't register the candy and we could keep going and going. We actually took so long once our parents made us leave before our turn was up and we still left with handfuls of candy. The best part? It only cost a quarter. They no longer have that machine. We discovered one in a pizza place where if you held a joystick up and right as it was opening for some reason it would give you 99 more tries. Some bug in the programming. We nearly had that thing empty by the time we left. That's not a bug. It's a debug mode that didn't get disabled. Free internet access during the early days of the internet. AOL if you signed up for that free month. Call to cancel they would give you a free month or 2. Cancel at the end of that period then sign back up with a different checking or savings account. Same process. By that time the original account would fall off their list of known accounts so you could go back to that one. I got 2 years of free internet that way and got my mom permabanned from AOL. Went to a Catholic school with uniforms. We got jeans day passes to wear. They were always different colors, including white. I took one white pass, took it to a copier, copied enough to fit 1 page, printed 1 full page of passes, then printed mass stacks of pages. I made a lot of money selling them out. My school had a reward system for good grades behavior called swag bucks. At the end of each quarter you could trade them in 4 prizes: movie posters, dollar store toys. I think the biggest prize was a Wii. They were just a heavy stock red paper with a Times New Roman font on them. My mom worked for a printing company at the time and I printed a ream of them. I made a bit of money selling them to other kids, but shortly after I hatched this genius plan the school banned them because we were playing poker with the fake money. Teacher found out when one very misbehaved student had enough bucks for a Wii and some DVDs after pulling straight D's. My dad figured out a good one back in the 80s, just like they do now. Back then cable companies would give you a free weekend trial of a premium channel, HBO, Cinemax, etc., in an effort to get more people to sign up for those channels and pay more. However, our cable company's method of giving you access to the special channel was to send a signal to your cable box which unlocked the channel. To turn off the channel at the end of the free trial, another signal was sent. My dad figured out that the signal to lock it was only sent for a short period of time. So before the end of the free weekend, he would unplug the cable box and then plug it back up the next day. Since the box never got the signal, we would have a free premium channel for a while. Usually after a month or 2 it would get shut off, so we'd have to wait for the next free trial weekend.